Hello and welcome to another episode of the Long Hop Cricket Podcast. Today we will be covering the second test match between Bangladesh and England. And with me is my... What did you want me to call you again? It wasn't co-presenter, was it? Didn't like that.
No, I don't really need I don't need to be labelled with anything.
No?
No.
Don't want to be labelled? What,
Just Dave, seeing as that's my...
Just...
how I'm known on the...
Oh, all right. With me, Dave. How's your day been today, Dave?
Yeah, good. Action-packed, full of sports.
As
in
always,
you've
been doing
doing
sport or been watching
No,
sport?
I've been watching it on the television. Watched a disappointing... Woke up fairly early-ish.
Yeah?
Normally
on your Sunday?
Well, normally the whole hour thing completely swings me and
Right,
I'm
yeah, of course.
out cold for the day. But did really well today. Got up and things started to go wrong, and then tuned in to watch Aston Villa draw their game with Birmingham.
Took the lead. Bottled it. That's me hitting my side. Go on.
And that was about it, really. Watched a little bit of... was it Everton, West Ham? But that was too much sport for one day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How's your day been?
Yeah, good. Been doing some stuff, building flat packs. Surprisingly difficult, but satisfying. Pretty good. Should we get on to the cricket?
You're not going to ask me if I've got any
Oh.
news? I don't have any, so...
Right, okay, no, I won't ask you if you've got any. Should we move on to the cricket? You said what was your impression of the whole day?
Well, we've got quite a lot to cover today. We'll cover the second test match. We'll have a little chat about how the series has gone in general.
Yeah. And
then we'll look forward to the game against the 5-match series against India that happens in, I don't know, just over
right
10 days, is it?
Yeah, something like that. I don't think it's...
Well, first of all, let's talk about today's game, or the second test match.
Didn't start well and didn't end well, did it? And we had quite a good bit in the middle.
Yeah, well, should we start from the start?
Yeah, so...
Bangladesh come out in that first morning, don't they, all guns blazing, and just... What do they get to, 170 for one, is it? Something ridiculous, and then wickets tumble and they go from 170 for one.
It seems to have happened quite a bit, doesn't it?
To 220 all out. So that is, 50 runs?
Right. Yeah,
not for 9 wickets?
It's poor, isn't it?
And the way England bowled on that first morning was dross. It was about as bad as it gets, I think.
Right.
It was that bad. Doesn't matter who was bowling, really. It was that bad. Should we talk about we forgot to mention the changes that have been made to the team. And actually, we predicted them pretty well on the last episode, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I said that they'd take Brody out for Finn.
Yeah,
and they did. And you said that we wouldn't see Batty, we would see the young Ansari. We thought maybe they might look to... Well, we kind of wished upon a change in the batting, didn't we? Maybe to see the... is it Hamid, is it? The young...
Yeah, I wanted to see the young opener, but that didn't happen.
Lancashire Open, but they kept with balance. But Stephen Finn didn't work. Straight. He didn't work at all in this game, really. It's a shame. I like Stephen Finn, but I just feel like you get one or the other, don't you, at the moment?
I don't know why he gets in the team at all. I'm not even really sure what kind of bowler he is. Do you know what I mean? But what's his attribute? But he doesn't swing it.
It's kind of like that.
Doesn't really seam the ball that much. He's not very fast.
I think he's kind of a poor man's Glenn McGrath.
Yeah, but what good is that? If you've got no control, then Glenn McGrath's no good.
Well, I think that's what he would probably...
Poor man's McGrath. He's worse than that.
He would like to think he can pick a spot and bowl to it, right? But
he can't.
That's proven not to work. And it's might not necessarily work in the subcontinent. Though there was an idea that he might be able to reverse swing it. Finn hasn't done himself any favours in this test match. Shall I read out his figures?
Well, yeah, I know he didn't take a wicket in the first innings.
He didn't take one in the second, so there's no point reading that.
Jesus.
Some load of crap.
So He bowled 8 overs.
And he bowled 3 in the next. So he bowled 11 overs in a game. And
he's had a boring test match, that guy.
He's a number 11
Do you see when he got out? It's the last time he got out.
Yeah.
Right at the end, tried to review it. Like, haven't got any reviews.
It's like, please, I need
doing
a
the
chance.
big team, like, yeah, that's not out. Big team, like, you haven't got any reviews left.
Though I like Stephen Finn, but things aren't quite going his way, and I can't see him going on.
Yeah, I don't know what he brings.
Well, he will, but he's not his greatest game. And also, let's talk about the bowling to start with for England. It's not good enough. It doesn't matter where you look, to be honest with you, spinning or seaming. Okay, Ben Stokes, I think, is an exception, isn't it?
Well, isn't
Ben Stokes has been a standout.
Yeah.
Moeen Ali did well in the first innings, picked up a fifer, but that first morning was. If that's against India, then I think you have a session like that. I think you lose the game. I think you have a session that bad.
Do you think our bowling
lose
is the
game.
problem, or our batting is the problem?
They're both equally piss poor at the moment. Well, they're both equally inconsistent, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's a fair assessment.
I'm looking down at this. I'm looking at the first innings in particular here to start with. Woakes picks up 3. He had to drag. Basically, what happened was, for the people who maybe didn't catch the first innings, England bowl crap for the session, come out after lunch, and things start to look better. But it doesn't until Tamim gets out for a brilliant 100, 171 for 2 then. And then wickets just start to fall, and England really drag it back, and the figures look better than they actually are. But I like to see Moeen do well. I think he's actually probably been England's best spinner on this tour.
He took 5, didn't he? So it's hard to argue with, really.
I don't think anyone's looked better in taking wickets than Moeen Ali so far on this tour, and he's obviously going to be a shoo-in for the Indian test because he plays spin so well in the batting lineup. But Stokes has been outstanding, and
Stokes looked like the best player this test match, isn't he?
Probably this test series with his bowling and he's been able to pick up runs. There's not that much to talk about. England do well to restrict them, don't they? In the end, it's great to get a team out for 9 wickets for 50 runs. It's brilliant. But
you say that in the second innings.
Well, let's just start with the first at the moment and move on. If we're looking at the first, 50 runs for 9 wickets is fantastic, but they should never have got in that position where they got to 170 for 1. Do you know what I mean? The batting, I think. What I don't understand this. Why can Woakes and Rashid make 40s and 2 40s each and have a 99-run partnership, but the guys at the top of the order can't do anything with it?
I think the problem is getting in on those kind of pitches. I think your first 20 balls is going to be really, really hard. And it takes a long... Yeah, I think it takes a long time to get in.
Balance made it look harder, didn't they?
Well, no, yeah, but I think it is. Because you look at people...
Do you think if you stay there for 30, 40 balls, it becomes considerably easier?
Well, you just get your eye in. I don't think you can... Certainly can't come out playing across the line straight away, which people have some mental thing where they think they can.
In the first innings, Woakes and Rashid both get into the 40s. I think 99-run partnership. And I think Ruti makes a 50. Otherwise, it's nothing. In England, actually, they were something like 140 for 8.
Yeah.
To go and make, what did they make? 2 to 4, another 100 runs after that. It's pretty fantastic, really, from the lower order batsmen. But how many times have we seen it?
I know.
We see the likes of... Woakes has been fantastic with the bat in the last 12 months, hasn't he? He's saved England from... Him and Moeen Ali have saved England from...
I'm really happy he's secured his place in the team.
Well, it's something we've got to talk about with the reintroduction of Jimmy Anderson, potentially for the second test. He's been ruled out the first test, but...
Has he already been ruled out the first one?
Yeah, he's not not going to be available for the first test.
Well, okay. Oh, yeah.
But England get a run lead of 20 odd in the first innings, and then Bangladesh come out and make England look really... This is when the bowling got... Because England didn't drag it back, really. They looked out of depth for a lot of that day. Yeah. Okay, towards the end, there was... wickets would go down in one or two clumps, but partnerships kept on arising, and maybe the pitch flattened out a little bit, but...
I don't know. I think they're probably... Again, though, people who are getting out aren't really... It's early, or you stay in for quite a while. I know that seems it, but people aren't really getting out in the 20s and 30s, are they? Across the whole Test match.
It's either you either get out for below 10 or you're going to go and make a half century.
Yeah, it's like you either get in or you get out, which is like obvious.
It's kind of like you go in and
it's one or the other.
You get out for below 30 balls, but if you can make that 30 balls, you're going to make faces to 120 balls.
It's really hard to go and get 100 as well because it's not easy to bat.
Well, we glanced over Tamim, made the only 100 I think of the series, and fantastic knock, came out and smashed England about. But I want to speak to you and ask you what you thought was going on with the England bowling in the second innings, because that was as bad as what we saw in the first morning, really.
Yeah, I don't think the fielding was very good either.
Oh, the fielding was poor. And the reviews,
was really bad.
They just looked like a lost team, didn't they? A team that just cracks and things just... It's almost like watching Gary Ballance bat, is the team. Like, things just look a little bit awry, missing. Things are getting from bad to worse.
I don't think, apart from Ben Stokes, really had any kind of option apart from spin, which is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we've got spin or we've got one bowler.
And the spin...
And the spin's inconsistent. Can
I just read out to you the figures? Okay, 4 for 52 for Rashid in the second innings. But he's going at 4.5 and over, Owen.
Yeah, I know.
That's worrying, isn't it? 4.5 and over. He's taking the wickets, which is brilliant, but...
He's quite inconsistent, isn't he?
I think it's just... I'm not picking out Rashid at all. Ansari... we'll get on to Ansari. But Moeen Ali as well. He'll give you a bad ball, and then you'll just... The lengths and the lines aren't consistent. You're getting running chances to make runs.
Yeah.
And the Indian batsmen are going to feast upon that, aren't they? They're looking at Moeen Ali and Rashid and thinking, well, we could move on quickly. Our bowlers will like bowl you, and our batsmen will like bat you.
Yeah. It's going to be really hard.
What did you make of Ansari?
I quite like him. I quite like it. I think it's a good, different spin option.
I think he was dross.
And having the left arm spinner. I quite like him.
Yeah, but I think the option's nice, but I don't think he delivered. It might be harsh. It's definitely harsh to judge him on one game.
One game, yes, definitely.
But Batty got the one game, and we're gonna have to, if we're gonna go in with three spinners, which we might not do.
Don't bother with Batty. That's a waste of time.
I'm choosing Batty over Ansari. I think Ansari bowled because Ansari, but England in the spin options they need someone who can hold up an end, and Batty will have that over Ansari. Batty didn't do it as well, but it's definitely better than Batty was probably the only bowler we saw in this Test match.
You're going off one game for both of them, though, aren't you?
We've only got one game in for both of them.
Yeah, I know,
but we're going to have to make.
I would. Batty's too old. It's just too old. It's like there's no. It's like give someone some experience.
No, you choose your best players, especially against India. You put the best team out you've got in front of you. Let's not. This is not.
So you're picking.
It's not football. We haven't got international friendlies, have we?
So you'd pick. Your spinners would be Moeen Ali, Rashid, and Batty. Yeah. Going into India.
What you put? So you think Ansari's better?
I'd pick Ansari.
So why?
Because I feel he was more useful.
What have you seen that makes you think that?
Well, it's just a different bowling style.
You think
you got three
the left
different
arm
bowling styles.
But do you think going at
and he does look like he could take wickets.
He only takes 2 wickets in this test.
Yeah.
Batty took more in the last one.
Yeah, I would pick Ansari.
Ansari's been more expensive.
Mm-hmm. I would still pick him. I would still pick him.
I'd be extremely, extremely surprised if they pick him to start with. Anyway,
I'd be annoyed.
I'm not sure we're going to see 3 spin bowlers anyway for India.
Or you think they'll sacrifice Ansari to bring Anderson back in when he's fit?
Well, I don't think we can trust our spin bowlers at the moment. I think it's that bad at the moment.
So
if India could have a field day for it.
So what are you doing? You drop. I guess you drop Ansari or Batty.
Well, yeah.
Well, you're picking Batty anyway, aren't you? So would you drop Batty or Rashid to bring in another seamer if you're not playing 3 spinners? Although Moen counts.
I would go in with 3 spinners personally. If you ask me my personal opinion,
but
I'm going in
if you're going to drop a spinner.
I'm going to drop one. Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it?
No.
Because Adil Rashid has been just so inconsistent, but you're thinking they've got the variation with the leg spin, things might happen. You might have a better chance of taking wickets.
He has taken wickets as well.
But
it's expensive, but
he hasn't taken as many wickets as Moeen Ali. You're being outperformed by Moeen Ali.
Moeen Ali's going to get picked, isn't he?
Moeen Ali's he's been England's best spinner, isn't he? Yeah. And also he bats at number 5, and I really like that. Yeah, I'm going to go in with. I'll go in with Rashid over Batty if I'm going to play just 2 spinners.
What about the first Test match?
Well, look, if it was me, I'd play 3 spinners straight.
Yeah, but say you can't. You're picking 2
spinners.
spinners.
Ball would have to come in.
You bring in Ball.
And I don't know.
Pick Finn again, can you?
Well, but then if we take Finn out, then Ball takes Finn's place, and Broad will have to come in, won't he?
Exactly.
Well, so Broad, Ball, and Woakes and Stokes might make my seamer attack if I'm only going to play 2 spinners.
You'd prefer to have 3 though.
Yeah.
If you were doing it.
Well, shall we get onto the team? We'll iron out our creases in the team once we get past the England second innings. It won't take us long because it was absolutely
it didn't last very long. Did it?
Terrible. Great start though. What did they make? 100 for naught?
Then they were 100 for naught, and then first ball
after tea was
after tea. First ball after tea. Just no shot. It's like it wasn't no shot, but it's like he wasn't ready. It was really weird.
Yeah.
It's like it's gone between bat and pad, but there's like.
And then he
hasn't even moved his feet.
How has it caused a domino effect as well? Because if I look down that, the only person that stood up after that is Stokes.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So that's 7 people, 6 people.
5, 3, 9, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
God. That's bonkers.
So there's only 3 people who've stood up in that game, and Stokes are 25. That's a start up, but Cook and Duckett did well. Were you impressed with that?
Yeah, I like Duckett. I thought he did well. He was quite.
It's an interesting way he's played, though, isn't it?
He was quite positive.
Looks like getting down sweeping. So
yeah, sweeping annoys me. I don't understand why you need to sweep.
I just think England players feel like
it's
a way that they
can play.
The way that they can make runs instead of standing up. It might not be the right expression, but standing straight and then playing off the back foot or the front foot. They like to think of that idea of getting down, and
I don't like it.
Because it's a predetermined thing, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Anything predetermined is risky.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
But does that show you that England aren't that great at facing spin because they have to go for these predetermined shots to make runs?
Well, yeah, I don't.
Because are they worried about sticking on the back or the front foot?
Unless there's a field setting.
Yeah, this is what we said.
It's like you can actually. It's like, well, I've got a really good chance of scoring runs. But the field settings were like, well, you're not. Well, even if you do well, you get a single.
Yeah, it was just for 1 run, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's not worth it.
But Duckett did really well. 56 off 64. We haven't seen that in an England player come out at the top of the order for a long time since Trescothick to be able to go out and hit like that. Thought, you know what, we need to get off to.
He's not going to get picked for the India tour, doesn't he? So he's just like. Got to show something, go out and have a go.
Well,
because he was way more aggressive. He had more aggressive than anyone else.
Who's going to take his place?
Hales, isn't it?
He's not part of the team.
To India?
First Test, he's not in the squad now.
Why not?
They've kept the exact same squad.
Oh, they're not picking him?
Which I like. I'm not saying it was necessarily right to ditch him because he didn't go on tour, but I'm saying he Is
that why they've done it?
Then I would really doubt that. You can't say that. You're worried about your own safety. You can't get in the next thing because someone's come in and done just as good as him. Yeah, he's made a 50.
Duckett's done it. Do you reckon Duckett would have done better than him with the chances that Hales got? Yeah. Like if he'd have played at home against Sri Lanka and played at home.
Yeah. Whether I think Duckett should open the batting is a different question. I think Hales has had his chance. He's got 280s and didn't look like he maybe have the temperament for.
Yeah.
but he'll definitely come into the ODI squad. So England 100 for one, and then 160 something all out. So that's 60 odd runs for 10 wickets.
It's
collapse to.
Can you judge a team collapses when that happens though? Because it happens, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like you can't go, "Oh, England are now ruined and they're terrible."
Oh no,
because they collapsed. It's like, well, it's going to happen. It's just it's a bit thing because we've never lost to Bangladesh, so that probably makes it a bit worse. But if it's going to happen, that's the kind of thing where it's going to happen, isn't it? To England, spinning pitch in the subcontinent, chasing a reasonably short total when you've had a good start.
I think the total was 270 odd. Was never going to be easy.
No, I know.
But when you're 100 for North, it should be a lot easier than 164 all out.
All right. And then you're like, oh, we lost a couple of wickets. Like, oh, we need someone to get in. And then
I think you can actually. Well, I'm going to say that you can kind of just put it to one side, a bit of an anomaly. To lose 10 for 64
do you
is
think we've solved
crazy.
The opening issue?
No.
So Duckett and Hales aren't good enough.
Duckett's probably good enough to get in the team, but whether he's going to open with his temperament, whether he'll open, because I might like him coming down and playing those shots.
So you'd like Hales to come in,
to
open, and Duckett take Balance's place.
Okay, let's talk about the team for the.
Because Balance has got to go.
We got 10 minutes. Let's have a chat about what team we're taking to India.
Balance isn't good enough.
No, okay.
You can't take Balance. Balance has got to be replaced. You got to.
Who comes in for Balance though? Well, should we talk about who the people that? There's a few players that haven't.
Who's coming?
So it's the same team as been.
No, but I mean, who's coming? Who's in your starting 11?
Well,
from who played in this, Cook isn't going. Root's not going anywhere. Moen is definitely in the team.
Yeah, no,
whether he'll play
Stokes, Bairstow, Wokes, and then the bowlers. But then like you said, England have got headaches.
You don't really know. I think Rashid probably is fine.
Well, let's go back to this opening spot first. Let's narrow this down, right? The players that you could choose from, the batsmen that are in the team but haven't been used. Yeah. I think it's 3 players that's not been used now. Ball, the bowler, which we can get onto later. You've got to excuse me if it's not right, but Baby Boycott, I think it's Hamid. And the other batsman is Josh Butler, sorry. Those are the 2 batsmen we've got to choose from if we're going to make any changes in this.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Team.
I thought you meant for just the opening position.
No, Jake Ball's not going to have a go. Those are the 2 batsmen we got to choose. Balance has to be axed, doesn't he? Thing is with Balance is that when we had I remember us talking about it a while ago, before the podcast started, and I said, well, like a lot of other people said, he's got an average of 44 in Test cricket. That's brilliant.
I think it was his start, wasn't it?
And
he just had an amazing start.
What happened was when Ian Bell was Compton wasn't doing very well.
Yeah,
and they needed someone to bring in, and he'd had a pretty poor time at county cricket Balance, and he was averaging 30 or something. It wasn't enough to get you into an England slot, but he made 100 right before the call was made.
Right,
brought in the team, and there's a lot of debate on whether he should have been brought on the team in the first place. I think Axum.
He's not good enough. He's not good enough.
So
the problem is you go, well, Ben Duckett would be a really good
player at 4 or 5.
Replacement for Gary Balance at 4.
Shall I tell you what I'm going to do? Shall I read out my team? Yeah. If I'm the England selector, this is what I'm going to do. Cook and Duckett. I like this Baby Boycott, but I'm a little bit worried about inexperience against India. If he doesn't get picked
playing Bangladesh, he's not going to get picked against India.
I would never have done this months ago. But so you got those 2. Root's going to stay there. Moen's going to push up to number 4.
Right.
And then I'm saying Bairstow coming at number 5 for me.
I was thinking that and trying to fit Butler in.
And then I'm going to say Stokes and then Butler. Butler come in, just keep wicket, mate. Just
right, yeah.
And then you've got the chat about the bowlers. Which is that what you would do? Bring in Buttler for?
It's not a bad idea.
Balance.
It's not a bad idea.
Rejig the order.
The opening position is. If we'd have had Hales, it would have been much better. You can't really give that lad his first go playing in India against India, but like that's just setting him up to fail straight away.
And people will say, well, Duckett did well, he's got a 50, let's keep him in there. Though Buttler hasn't played much 4-day cricket, has he? That worry you? Fuck it, I can't be bothered to be worried anymore.
It doesn't know.
We're getting, how many times are we getting 100 for 5?
I think that's a good idea. I think that would work. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do.
No, well, no, nor do I. I think
Duckett and Cook will probably open.
I think balance might happen though, right?
I hope so. But who comes in for him?
Are
they going to do what you did?
I think that's it.
Or who else could they put there?
Well, they
can't, can they?
They have to either say Duckett goes down there, we bring in the new opener, or Duckett will stay there and balance, and Buttler comes in. So your bowlers, who are your bowlers going to be?
Well, you keep Stokes, keep Wokes. I
So
think Rashid stays, and then it's your choice of
how many spin bowlers are you going to use? Because Stuart Broad coming back into your team. He's coming back into mine. Bat number 11.
Yeah, get rid of Finn. Bring in Broad. But then, for the first test match, that's that. Oh, no.
You playing 3 spinners? Are you going to bring in Ball?
Yeah, it's whether I replace Ansari with Ball.
Because I think England might be a little bit worried about the spin hasn't particularly worked as well as it should have. And whether they think, do you know what we'll do? We'll do what England of old have done, or what you see West Indies do. You know when West Indies go to the subcontinent, they'll just play 4-seamers because they haven't got the spinners. So they'll play the 4-seamers.
Yeah.
Will England be thinking, well, we'll pack the team out with seamers? It's not what I want to do.
Right, so you'd replace Finn with Broad and Ansari with Batty.
Yeah, that's my
would
team.
Be your bowling. Well, if I'm playing 3 spinners, I'd play Ansari.
Are you going to play 3 spinners?
I don't know. I think I'd have to look into the grounds and sort of history of what the ball does.
Well, I'm not being funny or anything, but if the Indian Cricket Board have looked at this Bangladesh series, they're thinking, let it spin from ball 1.
Yeah.
Because it's going to keep England in a lot of trouble. Because are you going to bring Jimmy Anderson in the second game? Because you're flipping around.
I think I would.
So that means...
I think I think...
Are you going to play 3 spinners then?
I tell you what I would do. I would play 3 spinners for the first one.
Okay.
If it went well, then it would be between... If Anderson could get back in the team, replacing one of the seamers that's already played.
Wokes. I think...
And then
that might happen, but it's harsh, isn't it? To take Wokes out.
And then if it went badly, then it's easy. You just drop your 3rd spinner and bring Anderson in.
So let's quickly just run through what our team might be. We'll obviously double barrel it if we've got any
conflicting
differences.
Ones.
So we're going to agree with Cook and Duckett to open. Rooty at number 3. Number 4, Moeen or Bairstow?
Moeen 4.
Bairstow 5.
Bairstow 5.
Stokes 6. Butler's wicketkeeper, right?
Yeah.
7. Wokes 8.
Rashid
9. You're saying Ansari, aren't you?
Ansari.
So I'm saying Batty.
And then
Broady 11. And then if that changes, I'm going to say for when Jimmy Anderson needs to come back in to continue playing Broad, but I think you take out either one of the spinners or Wokes. So it'll be a hard call on Wokes, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not making... that's difficult. I don't know, he's too useful.
Yeah,
he's like a better version. He's like a seam version of Moeen Ali, but better.
Yeah. And also, we've seen spin not really work for England, but his batting has definitely worked for England. Exactly. And also, he would have more overs and maybe his bowling would work because he hasn't done badly in this series.
No,
he certainly hasn't been a player like the Bangladesh fast bowler who's had no wickets and nothing to do. We've bowled Woakes and he's done all right. If we want to let's finish about talking about what a great Test series it's been now, and
it's
only been
the
2
Bangladesh
games.
Did beat England. Do you know what I mean?
It's been
kind of nice they got their first ever win over England. I think that's kind of cool. It shows improvement, doesn't it?
Well, Bangladesh. We said last episode, didn't we? A team on the rise.
When did we last go there? When Treadwell was playing, and England could just put out whatever they wanted, and weren't going to lose. It's like now that's a real game.
I might pronounce it wrong, but Mahedi, the young, is it 18-year-old? The picks up. I think did he get 10 wickets or is it 12 wickets in this game? 12 wickets.
12.
Picks up 12 wickets in this game, and he picked up another 5 for last game.
Be interesting to see how he does when they go places.
When they go abroad, because their next tour is the West Indies, I think. So it's not.
Be interesting.
Might crack up there and look. He'll come in the last innings, but it's been a Test series which has been great for Test cricket, to be honest with you, because
it's been really good. Both Test matches.
Every
really
session
good.
Or every hour and a half, things will change.
Yeah, exactly. No one's dominated, have they?
No, it's been, and also what's been really nice is that because it's low scoring and each team's matching each team, the toss isn't a big thing.
Yeah.
How nice is it to think? Because if we go to India, it will start to really tear up on day 2, and the toss it's a flat wicket for day 1, and whoever wins the toss will.
Yes. Yeah. You'd want. Yeah. I think you're right.
But yeah, it's been really nice, and I've been really impressed with what I've seen from.
It's good to watch. Definitely.
From Bangladesh. I've been disappointed in England somewhat. I think the bowling hasn't been great, and
it will be interesting going to India. Be really good. We could get hammered.
I don't want to be negative, but
could
definitely
hammered.
So, what's your predictions on me for the Indian Test? 5 Test matches.
3-1 to India.
You think it's going to be a draw? Do you think England will be able to bat out for the draw? Because England.
I'm going to go 3-1.
So you think England might be able to draw again?
I think England might put on a huge score that just kills a game, but we can't get India out.
I'm going to go 4-1 India. Oh, it's not nice, is it?
Yeah, I think my 3-1 is not very.
This is actually a Test series I feel least likely we've done in a long time to be able to go and win.
I don't think we'll win.
I don't feel very optimistic.
Yeah, I don't think we'll win that series. It'd be good if we could win 2 Test matches. If we could win 2 Test matches, that'd be really good.
Well, yeah,
that would be really good.
I think you saying 3-1. I think 4-1. Who's going to be the saving grace for England?
I've got no idea.
I think Joe Root might have a good series.
Got no idea.
But Joe Root and Ben Stokes are going to be my standout players. I think Ben Stokes with the ball, not with the bat.
Really?
I think
okay.
I just think England will be a bit tired. But anyway,
yeah.
We've got another episode coming out on Sunday, which Sunday. Is a week today.
Yeah.
What's the date's the 30th, so whatever it is in a week's time, 6th is it?
Yeah.
That's going to be our very first Rainy Day podcast. We're going to surprise you with what topics it's going to be.
Yeah, Rainy Day podcast for anyone that's listening to this or the last couple, but not the first one. Is kind of like it's to do with cricket, but it's not to do with the current state of England cricket or any of that or games, is it? It's like a subject
it's time irrelevant, isn't it? I like to think
it's a bit more fun rather than being quite so factual and talking about like an actual game or anything like that.
Yeah, it's kind of chats you'd have down the pub, isn't it?
Yeah,
fantasy teams and things like that, really, and activities we'll do and things like that. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Can you please subscribe if you?
Yeah,
because you know what, I would really hate it if you were to miss out on future episodes. I'd feel really upset if you guys were not to be able to listen to anything because you guys didn't hit subscribe.
Yeah,
like it if you've liked it. If not, then step away from the computer.
Yeah, just don't.
Find us on Twitter at the Long Hop Podcast.
Yeah, Long Hop Podcast. email longhop at...
Is it longhop.podcast at gmail.
That's it.
Something? .com? .co.uk? Fuck it, I don't know. I'll put the links in the description below.
Right, yeah.
Didn't do that
Professional.
last time.
We're professional.
What number is this? Number 6?
Yeah.
Sweet.
We'll get there.
Be surprised if anyone listens to it, to be honest. All right.